All right, man. We are live. Outspoken ones in the house.
And then his house.
Here's the house. How you doing, Big?
What's up, Billy? I'm good, man. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Um, we're happy for you guys. We love you.
Happy Mother's Day.
We love our moms. Sure, you guys love your moms, and it's a special time.
Yeah, and what a better topic? Gender roles.
Gender roles. It's got to happen.
Yeah. So this is a topic that if you're watching and you don't like anything that's controversial at all, now we're outspoken ones. Probably best you just move right along. But we'd rather have you engaged, have you involved. Comment your feelings below. Now we're going to try to, just put in our opinions and how we feel about things, and we're going, see where it takes us. So, Big.
Yes, sir.
Let's get right into this, man. Let's not waste no time. So, are there only two genders? That's the question we have, and I'll present it to you this way. Are there two genders in your opinion? How do you feel about
I would
that?
say there are two dominant genders.
Okay, you're gonna throw dominant in there. I like.
Well, the reason and let me see what let me say why I say that. I say that because, of course, there's the male and the female. Okay, male, female, but there are some people that are born with both genitalia, and
very, very rare.
Right, extremely rare. But I'm just saying, if we're going, 100%, it is rare.
Well, let's do this. Let's do this for all intensive purposes, as they say, right? For this video going forward.
Okay.
We're gonna say if you don't agree with this, let me know. We'll just say male, female at birth and how you identify going forward. We're not going to talk about someone born with both genitalia.
Okay. That's great. That takes that off the table.
That just helps take that off the table so we can get to our topic subject.
Okay.
To help. Now, to those individuals out there who do, who have that, it's no shot at you.
It's not an alienation for you guys.
Absolutely not. No, right. Everyone's welcome. Everyone's welcome here. So you come here and feel however whatever you want to say it. But we have a subject matter we're trying to get to. So we're trying to take that off the table. We can discuss that at another time if there's interest in that. But right now, it's more of the gender roles from birth being male or female.
Right. What would you be identified as without being able to talk, without being able to walk? How would you be identified? That's what we're talking about. So Mother's Day being today, mothers have babies. That's the only way that babies are brought to the planet that we know of at this current time is through a mother, through that vehicle of a mother.
Let's run this intro, man. Let's run this intro.
Okay, do it, bro.
Man, I cut you right off. Go ahead, do it. Boom. I just boom. I knew you were gonna say
good, man.
So you said go.
Yeah.
So being the vehicle of passage, the woman.
Right.
I think that's what you're getting at.
And incubation.
Well, we talked about, I think, IVF. Getting
but
started.
Have to put that in.
Yeah, put it. We talked about the oven. We talked about and remember, we're two men sitting here talking about this. So if you're a young lady,
you have every right to talk about this.
I didn't say we didn't. That's not what I said.
I just I'm just making it clear that we do
talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about.
Exactly.
That's not what I'm just saying in general, as far as someone with a little more. If you're of that nature, a woman, and you're having a baby, you can speak to the matter a little more than we can. But we still have an opinion on the matter.
Maybe not. Well, yeah.
Woo. So, really? Elaborate on that. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that.
What do you mean? I mean, we all know the same thing. We know that, the men.
Because you're fat doesn't mean you're carrying a baby, bro. It's not the same thing at all, man.
We all know.
That's my opinion.
Women, men bring the seed, and women fertilize it and nurture it, and That's why they're designed to be the nurturing ones.
That don't mean
we're not gonna get into that. That
don't mean you know. All right, you're right. We're not gonna get into that. All right,
let's get into where we're going, brother.
So look, so gender roles. Let me go ahead and share a screen here real quick. And so the definition of gender roles, as we're taught, right, or as we feel over centuries here, it says behaviors, attitudes, and actions that society feel are appropriate or inappropriate for a man or a woman, boy or girl, according to cultural norms and traditions. So this is centuries stuff.
Right.
In my belief, transgenders have been around just as long as this whole gender role has been around.
I don't know about transgenders.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, because that's a modern thing because of surgery. Like, I don't think they were doing this. You know what I'm saying?
No, transgender doesn't necessarily mean you could identify as a different sex, from my understanding. And
do you have the definition of transgender?
I can get that up there here. Just give me a second. But let me. So instead of my opinion, you rather just go straight. Let me pull that up.
Well, I just want clarity for everybody so we can all stay on the same wavelength, because I thought that transgender had a lot to do with switching your gender, like actually switching your parts.
All right. Well, here we'll pull it up. So transgender. It says right here. If you'd like to read it to the people, go for it, man.
Definition. All right. Definition of transgender out of, I don't know, the internet.
Oxford Language Dictionary is what it says.
Thank you, sir. Denoting or relating to a person whose gender identity does not correspond with the sex registered from them at birth, which we just talked about. Oh, you saw this other section you wanted me to read?
No. That's fine. That's perfect. Okay. What I was getting at was
because that's what we were talking about. We're talking about the identifying markers,
right? But you said sex change. I was trying to let you know that's not the same thing.
But that's what the definition just said.
No, I didn't.
Read it. You read it then this time. If you didn't hear, you couldn't get it from me.
Denoting or relating to a person whose gender identity does not correspond with sex registered from them at birth. Identity. Okay, so
I got you.
That's, and here, just for
I'm just hardwired.
We'll go So denoting or relating to a person whose gender identity does not correspond with the sex that's registered from birth is what it's saying.
Right.
So,
and then this other over here, transgender person. Excuse me. A transgender person is someone
who identifies differs from the typically associated with the sex they were assigned at birth.
Okay.
All right. So, I'm not trying to knock you or
no. It's not that. I'm just trying to make sure we're on the same page with clarity.
Yeah. We're talking about just transgender, someone who feels different in their body. And there can be numerous reasons for that, in my opinion, but the key is here to remember that this is not a sex change. This is a person who feels that way.
Right.
Okay. So going forward, we now know what the definition is. Doesn't mean they had a sex change. But we're going to jump into sports because that's part of
the topic for today.
Right. It is not just for today. That's a big thing.
It is. And
as a male who identifies as a male, I feel like I'm alpha male. I come off as, a testosterone driven individual. I know how I can be. It's hard for me to understand how someone can identify differently, but it's also not hard for me to understand. I'm both sides of the coin. I get you. I can understand that. So, and when I say feeling something, whether it's mentally or physically, it's happening to you. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. So that person in my mind has every right to be who they are. However they identify, that's up to them. In society, I believe we should recognize whoever somebody wants to be, because you're not in there. You don't know who they are or what they're feeling. That's you can speak on your. Go ahead, give me your opinion. Shoot.
The reason why I push back on that.
I see the hesitation. Yeah.
The reason I push back is because if there's an allowance for people to say I identify as whatever gender, then what stops them from being able to identify as something else? Like a 42-year-old man that's a pedophile that says, well, I identify as a 12-year-old.
No.
Hold on. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, all of it ties in. Oh, no, what I'm saying is that we
literally just read the definition of transgender.
But we're talking about people being to identify as things. You understand what I'm saying?
Male or female.
So we're talking strict. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, I went around a corner.
Yeah. No, it's fine. Yeah. You're entitled to whatever. If you feel a certain way, man, speak it. I'm just saying that right now we're on the track of transgender. We're not talking about somebody who wants to have sex with the pedophilia or pedophile. I don't know.
Well, I'm not talking about that particular part. I'm talking about.
You're saying somebody can identify as whatever they want if we open the door for this, is what you're getting at.
Exactly.
But here's the thing.
And that's dangerous.
Is it dangerous?
It can be dangerous if we go full spectrum with letting people identify. Or somebody, I identify as a dog, or I identify as a cat. This whole thing can get completely out of whack.
Well, let me
go ahead.
Let me jump to this article real quick from CNN. That's from just a few hours ago. I believe it was published today. It was published today at 6 a.m. So it's a little over 12 hours. And I'm gonna go ahead and show this article real quick here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up. Now, so a college athletics association has banned transgender women from women's sports. Mm-hmm. So now all eyes are on the NCAA. And I got a link below so you guys, and gals and however you identify, I don't, with this topic, you can go down and read this for yourself. The links are there.
You people.
Yeah, you peeps. I call people everybody, absolutely. So, but I want to just touch on there's an area right here, and I'm gonna blow this up a little larger. Right here, there's an individual who is outspoken for the LGBTQ equality in sports. And they estimate that fewer than 40 of the NCAA's athletic individuals of 500,000 people, fewer than 40 identify or are transgender. So with her own acknowledgement of that, right? That kind of begs the question, what is this whole outrage over, right? You're saying we opened the door. We're saying only 40 people out of 500,000 athletes identify as transgender.
It's a small percentage.
That's a fucking, excuse my language. That's yeah. Come on. Yeah. So, but I think where it comes into play, and let's say you're a parent and you have a daughter who's worked her whole, I wouldn't say career, that's the wrong word, but
she's been training
since she was 10, 12 years old, swimming.
Right.
And she gets on the starting block and she looks over and she's in college and she's got everything to worry about, from grades to her cycle to men to parents, money, jobs, after college, parenting, whatever, if she's gay, if she's not, everything her whole life, everything she's working towards. She looks over and she sees, a young woman on the starting block who is a man but identifies as a woman. Mm-hmm. Now, apparently the NCAA has rules on how much testosterone they have to have. They have to be certain levels, in their blood, and it goes through this a little bit. Mm-hmm. I'm not an expert on this, but you can read the article. The links are posted below in the description. So when she looks over at this individual and sees this woman who is she in her mind knows as a man. Now, I understand at this point they've reached the blood levels, everything they have to be at. But what about when they were young? So they were 16, 17, 18. Men develop different muscles. I shouldn't say different muscles. That's completely wrong.
But they do develop differently, very differently.
There you go. That's what I was trying to get at. So,
especially at that age, there's a big shift in the in the adolescence. Mm-hmm. And then when puberty first hits between men and women,
And if you go back and look at gender roles, like we just discussed, that the other part of that being that behaviors, attitudes, and actions, so, and it can be society related, but that's what we're, as not just we feel, but we're also taught.
Right.
You're taught these things. So when you look over on the starting block and you see a man next to you who identifies as a woman, what about that individual? So it comes down to, well, she's saying that only 40 or fewer than 40. She's saying they believe fewer than 40 athletes identify as transgender out of 500,000 athletes. So therefore, don't worry about them. Let them compete. But here's the problem. You're forgetting the individuals they're competing against and everything they've worked for. So I'm gonna bring up another article here, and remember now I'm gonna go to Fox News now, get away from CNN. So
let me say something before you do that. It's I think this could be simplified if they looked at it from the standpoint of you've got natural women or natural girls that have been doing this thing for a long time trying to compete, and then you got a guy that may walk right off the street that says I'm a girl or I'm a female, jump in the pool, and just because of being a natural man or boy has more pure power. So they should be categorized separately.
Let me correct you on that. Remember, they have, so let me read it to you real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Because I don't want you to, I know where you're going, and I'm feeling you, but I want to make sure that I don't want you to be off the mark either, because there's a policy in place though for the NCAA. You have to be under certain numbers, so you can't just walk off the street. You have to have been working towards this to have your estrogen or your testosterone levels have to be a certain mark. So if you just walk, if one of us just walked off the street and said I want to compete in that, that's not going to fly. So this person is aiming.
Well, I didn't mean it in that capacity. I meant that you've got. Hear me out though. Hear me out. You've got girls that have started this at, or athletes that have started this at like 5 years old.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you may be in college, you may be eligible, and you may just walk on. And that's what I mean, because you can just walk. I mean, there are athletes that are really good that walk on to different sports, meaning they try out and they're picked. That's what I meant by just walking. I didn't mean like just walking off the street. But they have not been competing.
But you have to be working towards your numbers to get where they have to be. From what I'm reading here,
you're talking about the biologic numbers, the testosterone
to get into, be able to compete in women's sports. So,
well, what I'm saying, they could have done that, but what I'm saying,
you're saying prepping.
I'm talking about the actual commitment to the sport.
Got you.
That's what I'm referring to. So well, to me, you steal from people that have spent time, money, energy, and invested everything in doing things the right way, and from a very young age to being able to say, okay, I'm going to go in, I'm going to take these shots and whatever, because I want to be a woman now.
To be able to dominate.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand, yeah. So this is a perfect segue from what you're saying to this next article. We can segue right to this article, and I'm going to go ahead and blow it up full screen. So this is Fox News. So keep in mind, however you lay your sides for political reasons, everybody has different things. And right here, the transgender track runner wins 2 women's events, which race times would have been last place amongst men. And if you go down like I said, in the links below, and down in the description below, you can read the article. But not only did they win, I believe they broke the women's record. So, just hold on. So, but they're last place for the men, but they broke the women's record. Now you can go through, like I said again, and read those articles. Those are just 2 articles. They're just 2, and they're all within the last week. Now there's nothing. It's not old stuff. This is all within the last week, within 12 hours, and within last 7 days or so. So
my issue is, if they're not naturally a woman, how could they break a woman's record? It should be an asterisk, just like they try to do my guys in baseball. The Barry Bondses and the Pete Rose, the asterisk. You got to put something there to indicate.
I think gambling versus
Well, I'm talking about the juice, I mean, what I'm saying, I'm just talking about an identifying factor that would identify that this person is not a natural woman.
Mark McGuire and
right,
and Barry Bonds,
and all that, but it's not. It's dude. I mean, sports. The one thing about sports is supposed to be an even playing field. Like when you walk on, you're supposed to be competing with like individuals. And however it's done, even if it's co-ed, if we're playing co-ed sports, then that means we're doing a genderless community, but it's still a mix.
So do you think a school with facilities should step forward? Because I think everybody should be heard. And I think if you're an athlete and you want to compete, you should be able to compete.
I think they should be able to compete. I think they should be able to compete. But
here's the thing.
As a transgender woman, and then if men want to do it as a transgender man, they don't need to put them in the category of natural woman or man.
I understand. So
let them compete.
But so I believe, I want to see if you think this. I think someone should step up and offer a non-gender, non-binary role of an athletic program for individuals who want to come, because maybe you'll have more people come forward than just 40 and can be comfortable.
That's a good point, but the cost for that is going to have to be more than 40 because
well, hold on. There's plenty of places that have facilities that have sports no one shows up to. Let's be honest.
It still takes money to run a league.
But hold on. I said facilities already available. So for example, you have a pool, you're already running pool sports. You're running water polo. Hold on.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You're running water polo. You're running meets. You've got, you got people on the blocks. You got diving boards, whatever. So if you use them, that same platform is not used all the time. It's him sitting empty. So if you bring people and say, hey, we'll do co-ed, because instead of calling someone out and saying, hey, you have to identify as transgender, make someone comfortable and say, hey, we'll do a non-binary or co-ed. They can come as long as the facilities are there. So I'm telling you. So the facilities are already there. They're already being used.
You know what? I'm not okay with a transgender person taking a spot for a natural born person that should have made it. You know what I'm saying?
You didn't. Okay.
No. Hear me out.
You say you have a university and you have a swim team. In order to fulfill that women's team, you have to have so many spots. The women make their spots. The men make their spots. That's not what I was getting at.
No. But in order for transgender, I can't even talk today.
I didn't say they had to provide scholarships. I just said
no. It's not about the scholarship. It's about a spot on the team, because every spot on a team doesn't necessarily mean you got a scholarship. Some people are on teams.
Whole new team, brother.
Huh?
Whole new team.
No, listen to me. Listen to what I'm saying.
How are you taking away from someone if you offer a whole new program?
No, I'm saying as it is right now, because how could this person beat someone? They took
somebody's spot. Yeah, that's understandable.
They took somebody's spot that should have qualified.
Yeah, but we're moving on to saying that, okay, well, if a person identifies this way, should a university step up and say, hey, we have a co-ed specific program because we have the facilities for that program. We already use those facilities for swimming or for track for men and women. We'll open up another category for co-ed. And if somebody wants to go as far to advocate to say, hey, it's for transgender, I don't think we should do that. I don't think people should be called out for what they are. But if you said co-ed, then if it's all men, but they are women, then they can come there and they can compete. And if a woman believes she's a man, she can come there and compete against them as well.
If that opens up in that category, right? I'm just not okay.
I understand that you're not okay with someone taking a spot for someone trying to get a scholarship or on a team. I get that. What I'm telling you is
when they would have earned it. If this person that took the spot is not naturally that gender of the team,
I got you.
Then they should not be taking it. Yeah,
I'm with you. I'm open to everyone being accommodated, right? To a point. Let me stress that, to a point. But I believe if a university were to step up and say, listen, We hear you. We see you. Come here. Now, you may get people who sign up just because they want to play co-ed. You wouldn't know who's who. You don't have to call out anybody for their thoughts or their feelings. Okay. Imagine, let's reverse the roles. And I can't do this. I'm not transgender, but imagine a transgender individual knowing in their mind they're a woman, but they're born a man. And their body, they're female, and they're competing, and they know when they win, they're going to be looked at like, hey, you only won because you're a man by genetics. They have to be feeling a certain way as well. Yeah, you have all kinds of hate coming at you. You can go ahead. I can see you over there. You're smiling. So
I'm just listening. I was listening. Go ahead.
I mean, you got to be catching all kinds of hell, man. Who wants that?
There is definitely going to be some issue, but my thing is, I look at it from the standpoint, I just don't want people losing out that should have the opportunity based on their gender and the team that they're on. That's my biggest issue with what's going on. I'm okay with the co-ed situation. I'm okay with, even if they said, like you said, non-binary competitions or whatever, but without having to get because I part of this thing is just so weird to me too, man. Why people are announcing their sexual preferences and all that. Like nobody, that's a personal. It used to be called private parts for a reason. When you're a little kid, your parents say that's your private area. That's your area. That's for you, and you don't show everybody that, and you don't share that with everybody. It's your private area. But again, now today,
transgender does not mean sexual change physically, though.
Well, I'm just saying that to even talk about it, it shouldn't be public.
If I'm hanging out with you, I'll tell you, what's up? I'm me. So the individual you're hanging out with is not a male. They're a male physically, but they're not. They identify as female. That's what I think you're still. Just an opinion. I just think from hearing you, I think you're still pulling from the sex change, and that's not what this is. Right. You know what I mean? But I get you. I'm with you. I'm not against you. I'm just telling you.
No. I get what you're saying. I just don't like the whole thing of, why is it so public? Your sexual preference, or
because you're playing in a sport with all women who are competing, and you get picked up. Obviously, if there's only less than 40, you're going to have a target on your back for.
Well, no. I understand that, because if you're visibly a man and then you go out there and compete and you're saying you're a woman, that's a problem. Because no way how is this even happening? How is this even happening?
Okay, so
tell me how you can how just because someone says that they're a woman now that they can compete. How is that at a collegiate level? Tell me how that happens.
They have to meet certain criteria
based on
testosterone alone. There's levels. You can go look it up. I don't need to. We don't have to get into that. We're just giving opinions on how we feel about the cultural norms and where, how we're taught. Now, we're not just taught this. If you feel a certain way, you feel a certain way. Like I told you, I feel like I'm a dominant alpha male, but that don't mean that I'm, I feel like that's just who I am. I come off as aggressive. I'm just that individual. I've always been that way. Well, not always. I shouldn't say always. I've been a sweet young man. Always very sweet. Very nice. But, I guess where I'm going with this is I was trying to move forward past. I can see where you are. I agree with you to a point. How did we even get through this? How did a man even step into a woman's role to play in a sport?
Exactly. How did that even happen? How did that even, who was asleep at the guard shack is what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, again, there are certain things in place where someone identifies that way, but I think that there needs to be a new category open for individuals to come out and be able to play.
I think people should be able to compete if they want to compete, but it needs to be fair. That's apparently,
all. I didn't even look up. I didn't even look to see if there's a university that offers that, because apparently it's not. Right I mean, well, yeah, it's.
You can look it up while I'm talking.
Sorry.
No. Okay.
Yeah. Because it would have
another time.
It would, if there's less than 40 athletes who identify as transgender, the topic would have come up already. Well, you could have went to this university.
It would have.
Yeah,
somebody would have said that. Somebody would have. But I mean, it's interesting. I gotta admit, it is an interest. It's a very interesting time just to be on the planet. It is. To see some of the things that we're seeing right now, but it feels like, people are being slighted because they at one point, and maybe now they're catching on now, but at one point they were letting these people get these trophies, and it's clearly because you're a man.
A participation trophy, you mean?
No, they were winning stuff. I mean, they were winning events.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they're winning events, but they're winning it because they're not competing in the
same sex as them.
Exactly.
You can just come out and say it, man.
It's like, you seen that Super Bowl commercial with Cam Newton, right? He comes out and they're playing. I don't know if it's flag football, but he got some kids and they're playing, and he
runs them over.
Exactly.
Well,
that is the same thing, man.
So when I was growing up as a male, I never felt threatened.
Are you still him?
No, absolutely. I identify as I said dominant alpha male now. When I was just growing up as a regular male, growing up, if you'd have told me, let's say, I grew up playing sports.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up playing baseball. I played football, basketball. Yep. I was heavily into baseball. If you'd have told me that a female was coming onto the team or was on the other team, I would have thought nothing. Didn't matter to me. Didn't care. But if you took me down to the softball field and said, "Hey, he's coming out to play against y'all when he's on that team," I think there would have been an issue there.
Right.
Do you feel that way? Do you feel if a woman did you ever? I'm not saying you threatened by women. I'm not saying we feel different about women, but I'm just saying if you were at the ball field, you had a game tonight, okay, at 9:00, lights on, and you looked over and you saw another city across from you playing, and they had two females on the team. Were you sweating that?
You mean softball?
No.
What are we talking about?
Talking about playing pony or talking about playing senior? We're talking about playing.
Oh, I would.
If they said, "Hey, they got two girls on that team," would you have thought, "Okay, well, I mean, we're gonna win"? I mean, what would you have thought?
I was like, "Okay, they just weakened," and I'm gonna be honest. I'm just gonna be honest. I would be like, "Oh, are they playing?" Because
they're playing. They're on the team.
Yeah, they just weaken their time. They weaken their point of their opportunity to win.
Okay,
that's the way I would see it, especially when we're talking about, because I coached youth sports,
right?
And I had a girl. I had a girl on my team when I coached what they call in Little League, the minor league, which is about from 8. It ranges between 8 and 11. Most of the time, the 11-year-olds, they try to push them up, but some 11-year-olds are not as advanced. So it really should be 8 to 10, but sometimes you got an 11-year-old that may be playing. But I had a girl on my team. She played second base for me. She was good.
All right. Well, I mean, women are fantastic at sports, so that's not what we're getting at.
But what I'm saying is that was before puberty hit. Because
that's why I said senior. We're going into a higher league here. What I'm telling you is, how would you have felt? Is what I'm asking.
I don't think at the next level she wouldn't have been as competitive as she was at that previous level, because the next step for them, and there's a reason why they do that. The next step when she left that league was to either not play baseball anymore or go play softball.
Okay,
that's what it was.
So,
but she was a very good ball player.
Yeah, I thought about this earlier today because when this was our topic. So I did some thinking on this, and I said, how would I have felt when I was playing sports if I looked over and there was a woman playing on a man's team? And I swear to you, I'd be like, whatever. I really thought that. I was like, it's fine. Doesn't bother me at all. I didn't feel but I tried to reverse the roles and said, now, if I had gone down to the softball team though and walked out there at the level I played baseball,
right,
and went down and said, I'm coming playing on this team, and you're going to pitch to me the way you're pitching to everyone else, and I'm playing, how would that have worked out if I was allowed to do that? I'm pretty sure, and this is just a hypothetical, I probably would have dominated.
Yeah, I would probably say so.
Yeah. So
you just wait. The strength difference
is 150 yards instead of 400 yards. We're talking about,
right.
I'm talking about at senior levels. We're talking about like 16, 17, 18. We're talking about at an age where the pinnacle of playing that sport at a young age. Just, I think it would have been it would have been like, what the hell are you doing down here? Like, you can't be playing over here.
You can't do this. You don't.
Yeah, but if she was playing against me, it'd have been like, oh, that's cool. I'm happy for her,
Right.
Why would I not be allowed to go down there and play? So why is it? What I'm getting at is, when you're asking the question of where have we come? Why is it allowed now? Is what you're.
That's my point.
That's what I was trying to get at.
We the era of participation trophies have just weakened everything.
I
need to have a conversation about that shit.
But I want to say something that's important to me. Anyone who's watching, if you ever come across this and you are transgender or you identify a certain way, please do not feel any less or any different. This coming from me, I feel like, you're just as important as me or anybody else. Be who you are. Feel the way you feel. And that's important to me. I think you should be who you are. But also, the gender roles that we were brought up on, you can't expect everybody just to feel a certain way about you because you announce you want to do this.
But it's not just gender roles, it's biologics.
But I was going to say, next thing is that it's not just what we're taught, it's also how we feel. Biologically, if you're this way, you feel a certain way. So that's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you though, Big.
But feeling has nothing to do with the biologics.
It does, because biologically I am a man. I feel like a man. I feel like I'm ready to.
No, I get that, but
even though I can't, I'm like
that's like a silent letter. Feeling like a male because you're a male. It is what it is.
You're not transgender.
Do you think about you feel like a male? You have to think about that.
No, but that's
my exact point.
That's the topic. So are you telling me that a transgender male, what he's supposed to feel like he's a male? That's what. See, he automatically feels like a female. Not going around thinking I'm thinking. So that's what I'm saying. So is he supposed to think he's a male? Because I don't go around thinking I'm a male.
There's no conflict. You're not conflicted.
Are you saying it's a mental health issue?
I didn't.
I'm asking you.
I don't know. Honestly, I think if
when you say they're conflict, well, you're saying I'm not conflicted, so that means the other party's conflicted. So I'm not.
I'm gonna tell you like this: they may look and be conflicted at times because sometimes they present as a man, sometimes they present as a woman. I mean, in some cases, there are transgender people that do that. So to me, that there's got to be some conflict. I mean, Bruce or Caitlyn Jenner, whatever. I've seen him as a man. I've seen him as dressed as a woman.
He had a full sex change, didn't he?
I don't know. No idea.
I believe Caitlyn Jenner has had a sex change. So it's different than, again, we're getting off, on behaviors and attributes at that point and talking about sex change.
I just feel like you don't think about it. I don't think about that I'm a man. I don't.
Yeah, but see, this is why you need to talk to a transgender person and ask them, do you think that they don't, I'm sure they're not sitting around all day going, thinking up shit. I'm a female for sure. It's a natural. Let me ask you this. How many people were you around when you were young in school who may have been high strung or the opposite end of the spectrum, had different personalities? And you had certain opinions. You're like, okay, well, this person here is the jock or this person's not. They just naturally, they're not going around thinking this shit. That's who they are. In my opinion, you're a certain way. So, I mean,
I'm trying to process what you're saying.
If you and I are walking around not thinking about it, and the person identifies as a female who is a male, are they walking around thinking about I'm a female, I'm a female? They're not. I think that's who they are. Or they wouldn't be doing all this stuff to make themselves feel that way. That's just my opinion. We all got our differences of opinions.
I get confused sometimes because I know I've been different places and I've seen and see, the thing about it is what comes into play for me, I don't know how to respond because I try to be very interactive when I communicate with people.
Mm-hmm.
And
you're very good at that.
Well, right. But when I run into situations where when I know it's a man biologically, but it's so dressed, the person is, and I'm not saying it, I don't mean to say that. The person, I know it's a man biologically, but the person is dressed like a woman, but sounds like a man. That's very confusing to me. And I don't know whether to say thank you, sir, or thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Or that's more respect. That's more of a respect thing. You're trying to be respectful of the individual's feelings.
Well, I'm just trying to respond to the person because the thing about this.
But if they're dressed
if someone's not, I got no dog in the fight. I have no reason to be rude to somebody just because of how they identify.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our interaction is based on our interaction. Now, if you're a jerk to me, I'm gonna treat you like a jerk. But if you're nice to me, I'm gonna respond nicely to you. I just gonna mirror what I get. You
don't turn the other cheek.
And
hey, man.
I mean, I'm not saying.
I'm
not saying that.
I'm messing with you. It's tough.
I know you are. I know you.
I'm just giving you crap, man. But I understand where you're coming from. I think most people listening will feel you and understand you.
And see, that's maybe something. And sometimes I'm like, man, did I respond right? Because
there's no right or wrong here.
But if that person, I don't want to deliberately or even. I don't want to offend people unknowingly because I may be, because I've been in, there's places that I go, man, and I know there are transgenders that work there.
Slow down, dog.
And I mean, they're nice people. The folks that have helped me, those individuals. But if my back's turned and someone said, "Hey, I can help you with them," and I may just start talking without turning around, I may grab something and be talking,
man, right?
And then I'm like, I may turn around and it is shocking when you hear a man's voice that's deeper than mine that looks like
and it's a female dressed as like right. I understand.
And if I may respond in a way that I wouldn't respond if I had time to prepare myself, because it is a shocking thing. People can say what they want to. It is shocking when you see something that is
someone, not something. We're talking about
you're just right. When you see, even if you see something,
I get it, man.
You see an accident. Anything is when you're unprepared for what you're about to see, regardless of what it is, it can catch you off guard.
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, the gender roles, the behaviors, and all. I put those two articles up there. Obviously, you and I went over those, and we talked about them earlier. I think people should read both of them. And people should draw their own conclusions, which they already do. Usually you have a fence and you have people on this side or on this side.
Right.
But I think also we need to think about the athletes and who's involved.
And that's what I'm concerned about.
Yeah.
Right, and because it's not so much about
I would love to see someone step up, a university or somewhere, and try to have a solution to this instead of incorporation.
Well, in addition to that, you also got to have some separate locker rooms and restrooms. Well, because
hold on, but if you sign up for this is what I was getting at earlier. That's why I was saying, how do you categorize this as just co-ed or non-binary? And then that way too, when you're using the floor, if like I said, if the facilities are already on at this university that chooses to do this, if someone would step up, the locker rooms are free at that time when this particular group is taking part on the floor. So if you sign up for this, you know what you're signing up for. So why does locker room need to be different? It doesn't need to be. That's the home team locker room. And if you sign up to join that group, then everybody's consistent with you joining. Everybody say, okay, well, you join because you joined. It's non-binary, it's co-ed, whatever. Locker rooms open at that time for your group. So there's no need to worry about that. The facility's already there. So I'm saying the facility's there. That facility's not being used 24/7 by the swim team if the pool's there. So
what happens, because you're saying if it's co-ed, but what if that person, or what if that
you sign a paper saying you acknowledge, that when you come into this program, that when you go in the locker room, you're with anyone who identifies the same way you do. Well, don't sign up for that. Play men's if you're men's, play women's if you're women's. I mean, if that's what you're worried about. Are you concerned if someone's gay? That's the thing. Not you. I don't mean you as in big. I'm saying the individual.
No, I know what you're saying, but I mean, the thing about it is it's so funny, man, how we're brought up. And this is a little off the subject, but on the subject as well. I remember back when we were in like 7th grade, that's when we started having gym class individually, switching classes and having a gym class individually. But we would get points deducted if we didn't take showers. And
we didn't get points deducted. We got points extra if you took a shower.
We got points. Oh, did we get extra? Well, I know we got points. I thought we got points deducted. Let me just tell you. Okay. So
we got extra credit if we took a shower.
But it's weird. So in the boys' locker room, there's a wall, or there's wall and there's shower heads.
Okay.
In the girls' locker room, there's individual stalls. Hell is that?
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I've never been. I don't know.
You never took a shower?
Yeah, it was just. We had you smacked the thing on the wall, and
you had the showers. The showers were on, and the water. The shower heads everywhere.
It was the same school. It was one big ass square room. We just walked in and
exactly. But but the girls wasn't like that.
Okay, well, I don't know.
Individual stalls.
Okay, well, that's nice.
It is nice, but why is that?
I don't know. We're getting off.
I know this is.
Topic, but
you know what? We need to pick up. This is a
you're saying. So in other words, hold on, real quick, just in other words, condition young that the men can be all together naked, but the women can't. Because technically, the man you see more of the man if he's standing there nude versus the woman. I mean, we all have chests. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I mean, women, right, but they have breasts. I mean, but
well, I
don't know. I don't. But that's a big question for me. I have no idea. Why is it designed that way?
We say, hey, we took a shower. We come in from playing and we change our clothes. We had the gym uniforms. We have to go buy them. Remember, they had the top and the bottoms.
Yeah.
You took a shower. You get extra credit for us. I remember you get extra credit if you took a shower, which I always want to take a shower because I always play too hard. I would usually be the only one in the shower. Nobody else would ever be in the shower.
Really?
I don't remember anybody taking showers.
Oh my God, man! Well, all of our guys, we all took showers.
I don't remember nobody doing that.
I mean, most of the guys. Let me say that most of the guys took showers. No, it was almost like why are you not taking a shower?
Yeah, I remember. I probably only took like maybe 7th. I think it was only 7th, 8th grade. I don't remember even in.
It was 7th to 8th grade for us. Oh no, it was 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th.
Well, I remember 7th, 8th at certain school doing that, but 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, I don't remember anything.
Well, I was done with. Look, I was so glad my junior and senior year in high school I didn't have to take gym. That was over.
Yeah, no PE.
No PE. It's dumb. I was glad. I mean, some people were still taking it though because of how their schedule was shaped.
Well, interesting topic, man. It's
we need to talk about that. Bro.
Again, if you're out there and you're listening and you're going through things and you identify a certain way, be you. That's what I don't take this topic that we're laying down as a knock towards you. At the same time, it's not at all. And if you're someone who's competing and you're you think you should be traditional man, woman, continue to do you. I mean, it's just I don't have the answers. Again, I'm not in those positions to make those decisions.
Right.
I can only comment on what I feel and what's happening, and I would love for everyone to be represented. It's just how do you go about that? And I don't think the current situation is the right move. So, but it's tough, man.
It is tough. It's tough trying to figure out how to arrange these categories and how to allow everyone that wants to compete, but it compete in the right space.
And again, going back to what the individual says on that CNN article, that there's less than 45 athletes that are known to be transgender versus, was it 500,000? Yeah, let me pull this back up one more time, Big. Let's go big screen. So again, estimates fewer than 40 of the NCAA's more than 500,000 athletes are known to be transgender. But yet look how starstruck people are with this topic. I mean, it's a huge topic. The media is over it, man. It's on social media, people commenting. I mean, it's just so much stuff. And I think that's also unfair to the individuals who want to, be who they are.
I was trying to do the math on that. Is that 40 divided by 500,000, or is it 500,000 divided by 40?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
let me say this. I can tell you. I'm the math guy. I should know that. It's a 0.008%.
Right. Okay.
That's how small the margin.
What her argument is it's so small. Let them compete. Let them compete,
but don't let them take away from.
No, but that's the thing. They are, though. So, like, for example,
that's not right.
The swimmer.
I want to let them compete, but it's not right for a man to take that will lose as a man. For a man that will lose as a man to go over and swim with the women and beat them and win. That's not right. It's not right.
That's why I said that we need to find an outlet as a society, as Americans, where we're supposed to be, we're inclusive. Everybody's
land of the free, home of the brave, the melting pot.
Then we should be able to solve this to accommodate everyone, not just 40 people, and also not 500,000 people. We should be able to come to some type of agreement on something. We're too great of a nation to single somebody out and say, well, the hell with you all together. I can understand having a strong footing on saying, hey, this is where I draw the line, but you can't also throw that person by the wayside, in my opinion. So
I agree, brother.
All right. Well, tough topic. Please comment below your thoughts. Yeah, very interesting.
Tough and interesting, yes.
And like I said, the articles are down below in the description. You can go read them yourself, draw your own conclusions, and just comment how you're feeling about it. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know, because we definitely want to hear some feedback on it, because it's a interesting and touchy at the same time. And you may know somebody that's transgender, or you may be transgender yourself, and have a perspective that we weren't able to attain today.
Absolutely. We'd love to hear from you and see what your thoughts are on that. So every Sunday we're live, 8 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time.
Give us a subscribe, like button if you feel like you like the content, and at least do us a favor and subscribe, comment below, and we'll see you guys soon. Hey, we'll probably do a midweek catch up.
Probably do a midweek check-in. Yeah, there'll be something going on we gotta talk about.
Mid-eek? You said mid-eek?
Mid-eek.
Mid-eek?
Mid-eek.
All right, man.
Go Yanks.
Oh Lord, let's not get started.
Hey.
Woo! Ric Flair. Ric Flair, man. All right.
Hold on. Let me check for any breaking news on Ric Flair. I'm just joking.
Come on, man. Right.
I was just joking.
All right. We'll talk soon, y'all. Y'all take care.
All right. Y'all have a great evening. Have a great week. Peace.